So I'm just going to start. So today, because basically, as I said, the challenge is all about feeling the love, and it's also about giving love to ourselves. So I just thought I'd do this little visualization meditation rather than our normal meditation. As usual, we're going to start with the breath, just to center ourselves and bring our awareness to where we are right now at this moment. So we're going to breathe in and just let it go. And again, we're going to take another breath in and just let it go. And just for today, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you to do. And I just want you to imagine for a moment, as we start this visualization, that you can see around you, about 2 feet outside of your body, a cylinder. And the cylinder is clear, totally transparent, and you can see through it in all directions. And the temperature inside the cylinder is perfect for you, and you can just breathe normally. And for this moment, I'd like you to feel the power of that cylinder just enveloping you, keeping you safe, and allowing you to let go of any stress or any worries that you may have, and just bringing you to a place of calm where you are feeling totally relaxed. And just focusing on breathing normally. And concentrating on that cylinder, I want you to see that it stretches downwards into the earth, going deep, deep into the earth. And if you look upwards, you can see that it stretches endlessly upwards, through the clouds, through the sky, and up into the universe. And as you move around, the cylinder moves with you. Even if you were walking through crowded places, the cylinder stays with you. You can release any heaviness or anything that is troubling you down through the cylinder and into the earth. And the earth will just receive these troubles and any stresses from you, taking it away and allowing you to just let go. So we're just going to sit for a moment and just see all our stresses, just anything that we have picked up today, any worries, just give them down to the earth. And just continue to breathe normally. And when you're ready, I'd like you to bring your awareness up above your head and just feel as you look up through the cylinder that you're really making a deep connection with yourself. And I want you to really concentrate just on you for this moment. And you're going to allow whatever you need right now to come to you down through that cylinder. Maybe you'll feel a sense of peace washing over you. Maybe a sense of calmness. Perhaps you'll receive some thoughts, a message from your inner self. Maybe nothing specific, but I just want you to rest in this place of your consciousness and really feel that connection from high up in the cylinder coming down to you, coming down through the cylinder and right down into the earth. And that connection is going to provide you with stability and calmness. And we're just going to sit here and stay within the cylinder for a few moments more. Just feeling that message just for yourself. And just focusing in on your breath. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and allow the cylinder to dissolve. And you can carry on your day knowing that at any time you can return to this process whenever you feel that you need to. So I'm just going to pop my tile in front of me. And if you're feeling just a little bit heady or dizzy, you can have a drink. And you can even just have a little shake, just a little wriggle, I'd say, in your seat. So just shake out your hands, shake out your whole body, shake out your booty, and just really connect back in with your seat. And we'll start with our tile. I'm just going to have a little sip of my tea. And you can do a little foot tap on the floor just to connect back in. So just tap your feet, tip your toes on the ground, just to make that connection. And as I say, you can just wriggle it out and feel that you're really centered in your seat. And we're going to start with our tangle. So, as I said, I'm not going to have any border today because I'm going to start with a heart. And I'm going to go straight in with my pen and I'm going to just draw a heart shape. And your heart shape might not look anything like my heart shape, and that's absolutely fine. Might be a little one-sided, might be a little bit elongated, and that is absolutely fine because this is your heart and this is your little piece of art that you're drawing. And then I'm going to do our little rice kernels that we spoke about. So I'm going to do one at the top here, and then I'm going to turn my towel around and I'm going to do one at the bottom. That a little bit big, but that's okay. And then I'm going to flip my tile on its side and I'm going to do just basically, I'm going to fit 2 kernels in this space. So I'll pop one here and one here. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to pop kernel here and another little kernel here. Now I'm just going to leave that sitting for a moment so you can have a look. Okay, and you can copy the same sort of style. And it won't be exactly the same as mine because, as I say, your heart may be a little bit stretched, a little bit to one side, and maybe in a different position on the page. That is absolutely fine. And then I'm going to put my outer kernels. So I'm going to pop one in between each of my rice here, I'm going to pop a little kernel. Okay, so just a little dewdrop just there, isn't it? And then a little dewdrop just there. And then I'm just going to turn it around and I'm just going to pop my little kernels on the space between. So basically just follow a path up and pop your little kernel. And here I'm still going to do one that's just going to be kind of close to the edge of my towel, which is fine. Okay. So now I've got 6 little kernels on the outside. Now we're going to just take it nice and slow, nice and steady. I'm going to move the tile down and I'm going to start from the top just because that'll probably be easier for you to orientate. So this top little kernel, I'm going to go to the left-hand side and I'm just going to aura and curl around and come and join this kernel. Okay, and I've just gone to the right side of that little. And just remember you're leaving a space. Okay, and then it's much easier if you just turn your tile and we'll do the next one. So beside this little kernel, I'm going to aura and I'm going to bend around and come and bump into that other one just over there. Okay, then I'm going to just turn my tile a little bit and then I'm going to come up, aura, and then bump into that little kernel. I'm going to the right side each time. And then I'm going to just turn the tile. Now we're at the very bottom of the heart. We're going to just aura, come around and just bump into that little kernel. And it's all about just taking your time, focusing on the mark that you're making right now, and just try and breathe normally. So we're going to come up, aura this, and bump into the other one. And then I'll just turn it around. And again, I'm going to aura this one and bump into that last. Okay, and then I'm back to the beginning. So now what we're going to do is from the tip of each of our little rice, we're going to make a mark. So we're going to start from the tip and we're going to draw a line that just auras the line that we just drew. And we'll come up to a point because this is a point and we don't want to go around in a circle. We're going to do a point and then bring it back in. Okay. So if I imagine that I'm going to draw from the tip of my rice, come up, do a little point, and then come back down. So from that, and just breathe normally, focusing on that pen mark that you're making right now. And always turn your tile so that it's comfortable for you and easier to do your next line. Okay, so now we've got this sort of like spindly little floral heart going on. And it's time to make our joins between each of our little legs. Just don't know if I went very dark there. That's better, I think, isn't it? It's not very dark. That's it. So now I'm going to make my connections between these two lines here, and I'm going to bring them across. So the first line is the bottom line, and I'm not going to, remember we're going underneath. So I'm going to imagine that I'm coming down and it'll start about there and go across to join up with this other line. Okay, so I'm joining that line over to this line. And then I'm going to join the inner line up. So I'm going to imagine it goes around, underneath, comes across, bumps into that leg, and then it's going to just carry on underneath and aura the other side. So you're basically aura in this little line here. Okay, so I'm going to do the next one. So on this little leg here, I'm going to imagine the line is coming down, around, and straight over. And then the second line is going to just aura that. And then underneath, bump in. Okay, I'm going to turn it round. And we're just going to carry that on all the way around your tile. Just aura the line. Okay, so turn it round. Each time going underneath, bumping into the next leg, and then doing the second aura. Okay. I did a big massive kernel to start. So I think I'm going to just aura that on a little, just change the inside of my kernel because I did a big huge one, just so it kind of fits in with the other ones. So now I've done my aura, and that is the basic ratoon pattern. And I'm just going to thicken up some of the inside lines of my little circles here. So these little rice. I'm just going to come in and just do a little bit of a loop so that it looks like you're looking inside through like a circle, and you can kind of just see the edge. So it's just thickening up from the top and going thinner as you get to the bottom. So I start thicker at the top and kind of come down like this, and it's kind of making it look like you're looking inside. So if I do that really big for you on my sheet here, so if you've got a little dewdrop shape, you just want to start and kind of come in like this to make it look like you're looking inside. Okay, that's kind of the idea, to give it a 3D effect. And you're just going to work your way around each of these little loops and just add a little bit of extra pen to give that illusion of a 3D-ness. Okay, done each of those, and then you can do the same on the inside ones as well. You can kind of come down and just thicken that up a little bit so that it kind of gives that illusion of you looking inside and seeing. As if I'm looking through. So it's kind of thick at the top and gets thinner as you move down. Okay, and it's just to kind of make it look a little bit more interesting, a little bit more 3D. That's all you're doing, just giving it more depth. Okay. And I'm going to just aura the inside of my heart. So I'm going to come around and just do an aura. I'm going to take my time and do it nice and slowly. Just do an aura. Turning the tile just so that it's really comfortable and I can get a nice even line. Okay, just like that. Oops. To be careful of the light. And I'm going to create just a grid behind my ratoon. So I'm going to have like a background. And I'll just start by drawing a line at the base. It's just going to be a fine line, basically just going across my tile. And if I bump into the ratoon, I'm going to just stop and carry on my line in the opposite direction, just, sorry, as if it's gone underneath. And then I'm going to quite wide grid I'm doing. And don't worry if your lines aren't perfectly straight, but I'm going to just have it going behind my pattern. And this is quite an easy pattern, I think, to learn doing the grid behind because it's quite an open pattern. So I'm going to have my grid and it'll go through, probably go under there and then come out. And then it's going to go on through. Okay. And I'm not going to make it too busy behind, but I just want to have a little bit of a background to my pattern. So we're not going to do any big heavy filling in or anything. It's going to be a nice, simple pattern that's not going to take away from our lovely heart. And then I'm going to do a downward grid. So I'm going to come down. As I say, as soon as I bump into the pattern, I'm going to stop and carry it on the other side because we never draw over the top. And then I'm going to do the same on this side, come down, and you'd see it just peeking through, and then I'll come out the bottom there. And don't worry if your lines aren't straight, they are what they're meant to be. Come down, straight down, picking up my pen and going over the top with any bits that I bump into. So stopping, carrying it on through. Oops. Okay, so I've just got a little grid in the background. And I'm going to create, I'm doing the Florz grid, so I'm just going to do a little diamond shape where each of my lines intersect, I'll just have a little diamond shape that I'm going to colour in. Okay, just like that. So I'll go to where all my lines have a little intersection, and I'm going to do a little diamond shape and colour it in. And if there's one under, you know, sort of behind, you can just do the bit that you think you would see from behind that shape. That one's gonna near enough be visible, but there might be some that are tucked behind or that you can only partially see, and that's absolutely fine. You can just draw what you can imagine. Like here, I'll come down and obviously there's a bit that will go behind my heart there, and that's absolutely fine. Just draw that in. We just don't want to draw over the top of the lovely ratoon pattern that we've done. Just remember breathing normally and focusing just on that mark that you're making on your little tile right now. And I think I probably would have another bit of a line just shown through just because of the spacing. So I'm just going to have a little partial grid just at the top of my page, because I just feel with the amount of space that I have that I would actually have another one poking down through. Okay, I think I might just have another aura of my little heart here. So I'm going to start in the middle and just aura that one more time. It's entirely up to you. Depending on the style of your heart, you might just like it exactly how it is. Thinking I might have. So I'm just going to pop in another just so that it's all kind of tan up. My diamonds are all different sizes, so don't worry if yours are different sizes too. I've kind of gone way big at this bottom corner. Must be really close up. So that's kind of our pattern for today. And now I'm actually I've got a red pen, and I know I didn't tell you that to bring a red pen, but I did bring a red pen, so I'm going to just colour in my little heart with my red felt tip. So if you've got a colouring pencil to hand or a felt tip pen, then you can just give this a little bit of a colour. I'm just going to add a little bit of red, just because it's all about feeling. And it doesn't have to be a red heart. You could do it a green heart, you could have a blue heart, you could have a gold heart, whatever you want. Or you can just have your heart left blank white, the colour of your tile that you're using. Okay, but I just wanted a little pop off the page there. Now I'm going to come in with some shading. So I still haven't found my pencils, but I have my soft pencils, but I have brought an on pencil today because I actually tried shading with it and it was absolutely fine. So I'm going to just go with it and see what happens. So to start with, I'm going to go around each of my little loops. So I'm going to, with my heart in this direction, I'm going to start by just adding some pencil underneath my little legs here, so my little loops. So I'm just going to go along like that. Hopefully this is going to shade now, or I'll be eating my words one time. And then I'm going to just blend it out. Yeah, that's all right, actually, it's fine. So I'm going to just blend that out underneath, okay, like that. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to come down this one, just underneath here. And again, just along the side. I'm just being very, very light because this isn't a normal sort of blending pencil. This is just a bog standard school pencil, actually. And then I'm going to just pull that out to blend it. So I'm just want to get some definition in here to create a 3D effect. Okay, and by adding some color with my pencil will give me that sort of 3D. And then I'm just going to come along underneath here and add some shade definition, as they say in the Zentangle world. And then again underneath here, and just blend it out. And then as I come down, I'm going to do under this bit. And under here. So I'm trying to be consistent with where I'm putting the pencil. So I'm just blending that out. Okay, because I really want the lovely pattern here that we've drawn to kind of be the thing that's popping off the page. So I'm going to come down and add more pencil, trying to get that sort of rougher edge of the pencil so that it's going to blend out for me. And really like pull it out so that you can really see some definition by creating that pencil line. As you can see here, it looks like it's sort of stepping up away, so I can come back into these spaces and add more, because you can always add more pencil, but it's more difficult to take it away without obviously getting your rubber out and getting heavy handed and stuff. So it's always better just to start with a little bit and then come in with more afterwards. So just coming in and pulling that out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to have a wee look to see how I'm kind of feeling about that. And I am actually going to shade just inside each of my little kernels. I'm going to just shade in half of those, the side where I've deepened up the pencil anyway, or the pen actually, wasn't it, when we were going in at the start. So I'm just going to do a little bit, leaving some white, but just giving the illusion that, you know, that's a little sort of dark nook in there, but there's light at the other side of it. Okay, so just blend that out so that there's still white, but a little bit more dark there. So work your way around, just blending that out. And I'll try and do the same just at the end ones, but I have to be really careful not to just, you know, colour them in completely. So just adding a little bit of pencil in there and then just blending that out. But as I say, leave a little bit of white space so that you're kind of know that on the other side of that there is some light. So just half, going around and just doing half each time. Okay. Oops, sorry, turned it upside down. And then I am going to just go along where my little Florz diamonds are. I'm going to just come in and just highlight around my little diamonds. So just do a little line around the diamond, and then if you wanted to, you could actually highlight the actual line itself. I'll do that in a minute. I'm just going to put a little bit of pencil around. Those little to sharpen my tortoise on. It's getting a little bit messy at the end. Okay. Just start using the other side of it. It's just a little bit, tiny bit of pencil that I can pick up. Oops, Daisy. Very nice in the tortoise one. Okay, actually I've just realised that there probably would be a little bit of a diamond in this corner that I haven't drawn in. Okay, and I'm going to actually go in and just go around the heart as well. I want to just make that kind of pop a little bit. So I'm going to just get some graphite just in behind it, and I'm going to pull it out just so that that kind of lifts off for me. So just starting with the bottom half of it, and then I'll come in, see if this other one's a little less scruffy at the ends, to blend out. Okay, that's kind of better, and I'll make it actually, I think I'll go the whole way around the heart, make it really pop off the page. So I'm adding just a layer of pencil, and this, as I say, is just a normal pencil. I'm just blending it out with the paper. So you could use an earbud, like a cotton bud, to do the blending if you don't have any of these like little paper stumps. An earbud works just as well. Or your finger even, just to kind of smudge it out a little bit. So we're really getting some definition now. I'm going to just add a little bit more because there's no harm in really, this is what I want to be the focal point. So I won't really want to make that have the depth. And let me just check, because if you haven't got a red pen and you just want to do some shading on your heart, you can just, I'm just going to use this as an example, you can just kind of come into the bottom of your heart and then around the edges of the heart, but leave the middle of your heart white. So just give some shading to the top sort of little humps of your heart and the bottom corner, and then leave a nice white brightness if your heart is white. So I would add some shading just at the top little humps and the bottom point, and then the rest of it can be white. Okay, just so that that's the going to pop for you. Okay. So I think I'm actually quite happy with how that's looking. Just realised I don't think I did any shading on that part of my, so I'm just going to come in and, oh, I did have added, sorry, I just thought there I hadn't done one part, I haven't done that bit. That's it, I'm just, that top left one I hadn't put any shading around, I know I left one out. Just go around. Now, if you wanted to, you could add shading on each little individual link. So I could have a little bit of shading just on the inside here. Okay, and on the opposite side here, just a bit like in Hollywood, where you have a little bit of shade either side, so that you get an illusion that that is actually a layer with, you know, a little ribbon on top of another ribbon. So if you want to go to each little junction and add some pencil, just going to pick up some charcoal here, and I'm just going to come in and just do a little dab each side to give the illusion that that ribbon is on top of the other ribbon and it's creating a shadow. So just go along and do a little tap, top and bottom of each space that has a little junction. Okay, so just be on each one and just add some pencil. You're just blending it out. And you're creating that illusion that there is pathways going on there. Okay. Just going around making sure I've done them all. And if you feel that you need to, because you've done all of that lovely shading around your heart, I'm going to just redefine my outside line, and I want to do it really carefully because I did get a really nice shape. So I'm just going to come in and just thicken up the line of the original heart that I made, just so that that pops, because when you add the sort of pencil lead, it can dull down your original lines. So just come back in and you can go over that line, just redefining it, just adding that definition. Yeah, I think that's perfect, isn't it? That's just really good, because as I say, it can get dull when you add your pencil. Okay, so I'm going to just hold this at arm's length and have a look to see what I think. So I'm just going to hold it away from me, and because it's always better to look at these Zentangles from a distance. And just check if there's anywhere that you feel you need to soften up your pencil because it's a little bit harsh, or add a little bit more graphite down to just give you more of a pop. Or you might think, actually, I need to just go over that line again because it's got buried in the pencil lead. And just check that you've done all your little lines and given that definition of it disappearing under. Because you're only adding the pencil to give you a 3D effect. That's really what it's all about. It's trying to take a 2D picture and create a 3D effect from it. So if you're happy with your picture, what we're going to do is we're going to pop our initials in. So I'm just going to, at the bottom here, I'm just going to put a little PB there, just at the bottom corner. And then I'm going to just turn over and I'm going to write my name. And it says Zentangle session. And today's date is the 3rd of February 2022. And we've done Ratoon and Florz today.